I'm going to stop you before you start. Lesson 101 for don't say that. You don't want them. No, you don't want Alabama. You do not want to be the team that goes toe-to-toe with Nick Saban right now. You do not want to be the team that takes on the Crimson Tide before they have a shot of winning a national title. And to be completely frank, there's maybe a handful of teams that could derail Nick Saban from hoisting up yet another championship trophy in the college football playoff era. Instant reaction time. If you're brand new here, welcome on into the channel. My name is Cole Thompson. I'm a radio show host based in Houston, and I talk college football daily. I talk NFL, MLB, NHL, NBA, but I love talking college football. And if this is the type of content you enjoy, my friends, this is the channel made for you. So hit the subscribe button down below, give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment. We are on the race to 1K. Make sure that you tell your friends, your family, the drunk guy passed out in a Pizza Hut parking lot all about this channel. And as always, let's talk college football. 49-21 final score in Lexington. Alabama rolls on. They clinch their spot now in the SEC conference title game. They are now the victors of the West. Doesn't matter what happens with Ole Miss today. And this is a game that 9 times out of 10, we know what happens to Alabama. Emotional victory or loss against LSU in a very hostile environment because the game's always at night or at dusk in Tuscaloosa or in Tiger Stadium, which if it's at night, it's arguably the worst freaking place you ever want to play. I can attest to that. It's a game where you think that you're going to trip up. You're going to have a couple of quick pro quos and some struggles along the way. And this is where Alabama shows its vulnerability. And it's been that way for as long as I can remember, back to when I was a student at Alabama until now. Nope, didn't happen. Nope, instead, Jalen Milroe looks like a fucking Heisman winner. And more specifically, this is a team that has basically motivation to just change everything that we knew about them in week 2. They have played so well offensively over the last 3 weeks. It's baffling. Since coming back from the Arkansas game, they have just played lights out against Tennessee, against LSU, and against Kentucky. And the main reason why is because Nick Saban is allowing Jalen Milroe to be Jalen Milroe. They are not asking him, hey, play in the style of offense that worked for Tua. Play in the style of offense that worked for Tyler Buchner last year at Notre Dame. Play in this offense that got us to 8 wins in South Bend, Indiana. They're not doing any of that. They're saying number 4 is going to play his style of football, and he's going to win us games. And we're going to have a shot of making it to Atlanta, and we're going to have a shot of dethroning Kirby Smart, and we're going to show the world, yeah, we still are a la freaking Bama. That's what happened in this game. And from the jump, you knew that it was over. From the second that you watched Jalen Milroe leave, then come back in and basically score a touchdown with a smile on his face, it was done. And I know there was one touchdown that probably should have been negated when it came to the double motion. I'm not going to go ahead and play favoritism when it comes to Alabama. That was a penalty, and it led to a touchdown. But I don't really care. One touchdown. Okay, so the final score ends up being 42-21. Or maybe they still score a play later. Instead of a 28-yard touchdown, it's a 35-yard touchdown. This was a performance where all 3 stages were clicking. There was no momentous drop. There was no trepidation. There was only figure it out, joyless murder ball. That was it. Jalen Milroe, he's playing himself into the Heisman Trophy conversation. The kid who was benched for week 3's game, regardless of the situation, against South Florida, that guy has now scored over a dozen touchdowns. Over a dozen touchdowns in 3 games. He scored 10 touchdowns in the last 2 games. And today, he just decided to go ham and find the end zone on 6 different occasions. 3 through the air, 3 on the ground, threw for 234 yards, only rushed for 36 yards, but that was enough inside the red zone to punch it in. You watched once again as other receivers stepped up because no Jermaine Burton. So what instead, Kobe Pretense decided to have a good day. Amari Nick Black decided to have a good day. Roydell Williams, Jalen Hale, Isaiah Bond, CJ Drip. They're throwing the football, and they're throwing it in a way that works for Milroe. That's the key. They're not asking him to just do little dink and dunks, try to move the ball. Nope. If you guys shoot it deep, you trust your accuracy, boom, do it. Let's see. Kobe Pretense finished with a 40-yard game. Jalen Hale, 51-yard game. Amari Nick Black, 26-yard game. CJ Drip, 1 catch, 30 yards. Isaiah Bond, 17-yard game. Guy was slinging it all 3 phases of the field. And he was moving on the ground. And the guy has legs. And you're not going to keep a Lamborghini off the highway and tell it to go 45 when it's an open field. You're saying floor it and do your job. And that's Jalen Milroe. Defensively, they were great. Once again, Terrion Arnold is probably the most slept-on defensive back in the SEC. He's playing up to the caliber of a first-round talent. You're watching as evaluators continue to see his film improve week by week. And they made this offense as one-dimensional as possible. They weren't able to really get Ray Davis moving until the fourth quarter. And even then, at that point, it was kind of a done deal, just 2 touchdowns inside the red zone. You had 1 passing touchdown by Devin Leary. You also had a big fumble. You also only held him to 158 yards. Not to mention, you also played exceptionally well on third down. You were great offensively. I mean, this team, I think, finished 7 of 11 on third down conversions. And then when you look at Kentucky, they were 3 of 11. You held them to 5.1 yards per pass. You averaged 11.4. They both averaged about 4 yards per play. And then the penalties, yeah, you had more, but also 3 of them came in the final quarter. So it's like, what's the problem here? This is an Alabama team that's good. This is an Alabama team where if they were to look back at week 2's performance or week 3's performance more so than anything else, they would ask if that was filmed from 2007 when Nick Saban first got the job. They would say, no, that's not us. No, we're not that team. We can't even be close to that team. And then they have to go puke because of how embarrassed they are that that's what they look like at one point in the season. It's Nick Saban, adapt or die. The man's a crocodile. He has survived everything in college football, from the transfer portal becoming a major thing, NIL becoming a major thing, spread offense is becoming a factor, defense is being put on the back burner. He's adapted to everything that works in college football, and he's made it his own. And that's why he is still the king. That is still why everyone has to listen to his orders. And it's why, once again, Alabama's in the driver's seat of making it to Atlanta. They're a damn good team. The team that played in week 2 against Texas, you get this Jalen Milroe, who feels more comfortable with the offense, who isn't being pigeonholed to certain play formations and asked not to utilize his legs, who's starting to understand the pressure that's presented to him. That's a completely different Alabama squad. It's completely out of range. They're nowhere near close. And I think Kentucky's defense isn't terrible. I don't think it's good, but I don't think it's terrible. And you made it look pathetic from the jump. That's Alabama football right now. They're right up there with the other teams that we are talking about. For a one-loss team, them and Oregon, they're a cut above Texas, in my opinion. When it comes to Oregon, I think they are playing about as good as football as you could ask for. I think Alabama's right behind them, if not in front of them, because they're playing in the SEC. And the Pac-12 is dangerous this year. It's absolutely dangerous. But the SEC, the biggest problem that we have is that we're not seeing the same competitive nature from an A&M or an LSU. But we are seeing it from a Missouri, and we are seeing it from an Ole Miss. And that's fine, because guess what? The 2 teams that are expected to play for it all have handled business against those opponents. And it's all coming down to the wire. The Alabama team that took the field today, the Alabama team that's taken the field since nearly losing to Arkansas, that's a team that is not playing like they are accepting average. That's a team that last year realized, we don't want to be in a New Year's 6 bowl game. We want to be in the Final Four. We want to be that roster. And they're playing like it. It's a testament to what Nick Saban's done. It's a testament to Tommy Rees making the necessary adjustments. And once again, here we are talking about Alabama. So just fair warning for those of you out there who say, we want, no, you don't. No, the hell you don't. You do not want this version of Alabama, because that version, that's going to send you to oblivion. And the only thing you're taking is a 14-plus point loss and a sad trip back to your university. If you get a chance to play this team, you cannot have any bit of less than perfect football, because Alabama's going to run you out. And the way that they play today, that's a warning shot to the other teams ahead of them. Don't mess around. Don't get us at when we're hot. And more specifically, don't ask for us in the playoff. You don't want it. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that video. Don't hit the X button yet. Make sure you hit subscribe to keep up with all of our daily content found on Just Saying It and anything else that we post on this channel. Bye.